But to others, there are just healings and miracles, but we don't hear the message that sign needs to convey from God. Can you think how frustrated God is sometimes, trying to tell us? Because we don't listen to people when they preach, so God needs to do signs. And then we don't listen to the signs because we cannot discern the signs of the times. Now, the churches, this I also want you guys to write down. We all agree, all churches agree about one thing. This one thing, how great is our God? But what they don't agree on, which is the answer to God, how great is man, which is the image and the likeness of God. Now, I believe with all my heart, they are equal in value.
Saints, this cult demands quite a few signs from their people. They've claimed quite a few signs, and you can look at my other clips to explain these. But what is the reason for signs and wonders? You need to understand that the reason for a sign was in actual fact to point what was ahead. The sign was never a destination in itself. God would wrought signs and wonders to create a curiosity around the messenger and to give a validation of the messenger itself. So when Jesus and his apostles performed signs and wonders, those signs and wonders were never an end in themselves, but it claimed or gave authority to that which they proclaimed. And you can look at Hebrews chapter 2 verse 1 and 4 in Acts chapter 2 verse 22. We need to understand that there is such a demand placed on individual people to believe in these signs that these people produce. But Jesus cautions us in Matthew chapter 16 verse 4, and he says, an adulterous and a wicked generation seeks after signs. So he makes the point very clear that if we seek after signs, those signs are not an end in themselves. So here's the question. The signs and wonders performed by the Lord and the apostles, are those signs and wonders still valid for today? Yes, they are. It is already pointed, and we can see through scripture, that the signs concerning the coming and the kingdom of Jesus Christ have been fulfilled. People can run after a sign and become so invested in signs that they don't look at the scripture anymore. And this is what we see in this cult. The statement that Zandre then make is God and man equal in value? You know, I always chuckle at this because, yes, man is fearfully and wonderfully made. But Isaiah 55 verse 8 to 9 makes it absolutely clear. And the prophet says it this way. He says, for my thoughts are not your thoughts, neither are my ways your ways, declares the Lord. For as the heaven is higher than the earth, so are my ways higher than your ways, and my thoughts higher than your thoughts. Scripture makes it clear that the quality of God in his own essence and in his own means is far beyond the means and the essence of man. And so if we look at man as the determinative means to which we can quantify God, we miss this God. David says in Psalms 8 verse 3 to 4, and he speaks and he says, when I look at your heavens, the work of your fingers, the moon and the stars which you have set in place, what is man that you are mindful of him, and the son of man that you care for him? That's a rhetorical question. And David is very humbly saying, if this God is so immense and so great, even when we look and when we see and when we meditate upon his creation, what about mankind? Mankind is, Ecclesiastes says that mankind is like grass. Today it's here and tomorrow it's spread within the wind. So ultimately, the claim that man is equal in value to God is just absolutely absurd and just does not make sense. Do we believe that man have been created in the image of God and the likeness of God? Yes, we affirm Genesis 1:26 and 27. But we've also explained in recent videos that man have been created in the image and the likeness of God, and there are certain communicable attributes which God endows man with, so man can be in relationship with God. But in no way does it mean that man is qualitatively now one in essence and on the same standard and quality as God. That's just not true.